Hey everyone, welcome to the Gootz cast for Tuesday, the 26th of May. I am here with Andrew Lee, and tonight is your Impact post show, but we also cover NWA Carnyland and AEW Dark. A big night of wrestling in the books. Andrew, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. We didn't even, you and I, we didn't even finish it. That's
Dark.
how much
Dark.
yeah,
Dark is too long now. I can't.
yeah.
I'm
There's
not.
so much.
I can do 3.5 hours of wrestling. I'm not doing a fucking 4. They gotta cut it. They gotta make it like less than an hour. I'm tired of this supersized Dark bullshit.
If I had more free time, I think I could do it, but I don't.
I'm watching too much of this. Even though Dark was the best show out of all three. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Well, up to the point we saw, but yeah. So what do you want to talk about first, Ray?
Let's start with Carnyland because that was the first thing.
Carnyland. By the way, Carnyland is part of, and it's about NWA, and we didn't talk about this last week, but it is very important for us to mention is that Ricky Starks, he didn't resign with the NWA. He's already gone.
He probably saw Carnyland. So what the fuck?
If you watch NWA Power, he was the one guy that nobody had heard of that you were like, this guy is going to be humongous. Like, he's going to be really good. Someone's going to sign this guy. And he has not been re-signed. So there was a little point in my back of my head where I was thinking that he was going to be that mystery participant in the ladder match, the casino ladder match. But it wasn't. It was Brian Cage. But anyway, everybody keep your eyes open for Ricky Starks. You don't know who's going to get signed, but trust me, this guy's really good. He's like a throwback. But he's young.
I don't know the Richie Starks, but I think what happened was he saw Carnyland and then was going to blow his brains out, and instead was just like, I will go with any other company.
Yeah. By the way, so they're doing. So the way NWA's schedule looks right now on their YouTube, they used to do just NWA Power on Tuesdays, which was their wrestling show, and then they were going to alternate it with this thing called Circle Square, which is like where they get guys who are trying to like try out to be part of the NWA. But now their YouTube schedule looks like this. Monday, they have the video podcast called What's Causing All This. Tuesday is Carnyland. Wednesday is Inside the NWA. Thursday is the Eli Drake show, and Friday is something called Girl Power, which is like, dude, come on, that's like so old to say Girl Power. But by the way, I did watch last week's Inside NWA and Monday's What's Causing All This. Definitely would recommend people watch both of them. They're actually, especially What's Causing All This, it's really good. It's very, very good.
I can't. I'm so
really
behind.
Good. Yeah.
So behind on my Conrad podcasts. I'm still listening. I just listened to like a July episode of 83 Weeks. I can't.
Oh, if anyone's interested in like what it's like on the indie level, like a real indie level, like the dirt shit, beginner indie levels of the UK, that's a good podcast. That's the good episode to watch. What's Causing All This? But anyway, you want to get into Carnyland?
Yeah, let's go into Carnyland. Oh
all
boy.
Right. What this was, once again, it's less than 30 minutes, so it's kind of bearable.
It doesn't feel like it. It feels like 9 hours.
What I liked about this was that they actually did like a real intro this time with Billy Corgan's voiceover about like, hey, what's Carnyland? I liked it because it was kind of like, it's a real intro, but it still didn't answer anything. It was just like,
no, because they don't know what it is. They're just making up stupid shit. It's fucking awful.
It was like nice that they did it. I was like, they should have done this last week. But
the B-roll is killing me. All this like B-roll, they just take stock footage and it's so corny.
So basically, the intro is them showing all these B-roll of these just weird images. Like they got like a doll with a nail stuck through his eye. Someone pouring water over it. They show like, I don't know, like somebody like dressed up like a clown or some, just like all this weird stuff, like drone shots of like scenery, and it's basically Billy Corgan going like, what is Carnyland?
Don't bite that.
Are you a citizen? we might not have all the answers, but we're gonna try something different. And it's all right. It's fine. It's better than having no intro. Basically, let's just leave it like that. And the first segment we get is Carnyland College. It's done by Allison Kay, and this time it's on Heat 101.
Oh God!
It's about how when a wrestler is on the indie scene and they're trying to get heat in the ring, but they're really getting heat in the back. Oh my gosh, do you get it? The juxtaposing of that. Thank God that midway into this. By the way, while she's doing this, she's doing that sarcastic thing where she's going like, "So you try to shout out where they're from and you shit on the town they're in because that's how you're supposed to try to get heat. But really you're getting heat in the back because you took like 4 rounds of Gatorade when nobody got any in the first round." I was like, well, all right, I don't care about that shit. And then she gets interrupted by Zicky Dice, and then it basically abruptly ends. In fact, they were going next week on Carnyland College, they even cut that off. So I feel like they're telling me that that's the last one. That they're not gonna do another one.
I think they're gonna keep doing this.
This was awful.
This was awful. Even what's his name? Nicky Hickey. What's his name?
Zicky Dice.
Ziggy, whatever. That's another fucking. It was atrocious. I've never seen 2 people less charisma than Allison Kay and Ziggy Dice. This was an embarrassment.
No, Zicky Dice is pretty good.
No, this was an embarrassment.
Mm-hmm.
This was horrendous.
This was last week on Carnyland. This was one of the worst things, and it's still one of the worst things.
She's not talented enough to be shitting on everybody. She barely can deliver her lines.
Then we have a breaking news, and it's Joe Galley. And while he's talking, you have that voiceover from Stu Bennett, formerly Wade Barrett, and it's that like graphic that he's speaking. And I like this a lot because it goes like Joe Galley's like, "Hey, I'm a real journalist," and he shows his Emmy. He's like, "I got an Emmy. Wolf Blitzer once gave me the thumbs up." And I was like, I'm dying. I think this is hilarious because he's pretending to be serious. And then Stu Bennett, he basically says there's gonna be a big reveal, like a big announcement at the end of this show, and we're gonna keep a little clock called Little Ben that's gonna keep track of the time. That's gonna let you know once the announcement's ready. What I like about this is NWA Power, they introduced this title called the TV title, and all the TV title matches were 6 minutes and 5 seconds long. You can't go longer than that, right? And they used to have a little timer in the corner, and they would have like a snake that would finish off as the time went down. It was really cool to have that right there during the whole match. And this little clock was kind of like reminiscent of that. I like that when they do these countdown things. But what did you think about this breaking news segment?
I hated it.
You did? Why?
The guy comes across as a goof. Wade Barrett's good. Yeah, he comes across as a goof.
That's what he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be like that straight-laced, like he's like a throwback from back in the old days.
Maybe it works in a studio setting with matches. No, I didn't like it. Sorry.
You didn't think that was funny when he was like, Wolf Blitzer once gave me the thumbs up.
No.
I'm a real journalist.
I didn't think anything.
What's really interesting is that they were doing this breaking news, and they were like, all right, we're done with the breaking news. Now back to your regularly planned schedule.
This was funny. One-time theater,
It's like they were like one-time only theater, and then they come like, we now return you to one-time only theater, and it's James Storm. And he goes, and that's why I am no longer allowed into Vermont. And then that was the one-time only theater. I thought that was really funny. That was good,
but that was funny. Yes.
Yeah. Then they have Royce Isaacs promoting his girlfriend May Valentine's hand sanitizer because it's 100% pure, not 96 point whatever it is. If you do not know May Valentine, if you have not been following NWA Power and you don't follow Royce Isaacs and May Valentine, you probably won't like this, but if you do, you like it because
let me guess, the joke is she's supposed to be like a dirty hoe.
Because she's acting like, no, not she's a dirty hoe, it's just that like they're super cheesy. She's super cheesy, you know? And what do you call it? she's supposed to be kind of like a little bit like a knockoff of the culture of people are constantly like doing the Instagram stuff,
Mhm.
stories and all like they're she's like an influencer, and she's like she believes she's a product. She goes like, "Oh, I'm a brand," but you're like, "No, you're not. You're a talentless person." You know, stop saying that you're a brand. You have no talent. All you do is just like you try to look pretty in your pictures, and that's about it. Nobody wants to hear about your life. Nothing exciting happens in your life, but you pretend like there's drama. But that's what Mae Valentine is. She's supposed to be a spoof on those people, and it's funny. It's funny as hell to me. But um, if you don't know who they are, you probably won't understand
I
it.
kind
But
of
I
got
like
what
it.
they are. It's nothing take. It's not like this is like a David Lynch film. I kind of got the gimmick.
Yeah.
I still think
Um,
they have about the talent level of a piece of shit on the floor. I
it,
thought this was also horrible.
yeah, I
Every
liked it.
Let me tell you something. Everything somehow I thought last week was horrendous, and somehow they managed to make every single segment this week worse than the week before.
So I'll be
Everything
honest
just
with you. The only segments I liked in this one was the breaking news with the Joe Galley and Stu Bennett saying there's going to be an announcement at the end of the show, which I was really excited
I
for.
did like it when he goes, "I've got some bad news." I like when he said that.
Yeah, he changed it up to I've got some breaking news for you instead of I got some bad news. He changed it to breaking news. Um, that the one time only theater and this Royce Isaac May Valentine. These are the only three segments that I actually like, and I would say they were.
And you're way more tolerant.
I think they would say a grand total of maybe 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Of this 27-minute show, it was maybe 2-3 minutes, and the rest of
Mm-hmm.
this I was not really into. They show you Tim Storm's history lesson,
Yeah,
which
how did they fuck this up?
you and I both said that was like one of the only like bright moments
Mm-hmm.
of Carnyland from
Yes,
last
Tim
week.
Storm. Yeah, in the first episode.
And
Yeah.
they're doing it. He's going to give one about Abe Lincoln. We're like, oh, this makes, yeah, of course, because Abe Lincoln used to wrestle and all that. They cancel it because he's now got some fucking students. He's got
Marty
he's
Bell.
got Kyle, he's got Marty Bell. Fucking Marty Bell sucks in the show. And they're just like, oh, like Professor Storm, like, did you hear about the rumor? And he looks at his phone and goes, class dismissed. And we don't get any history lesson. The one segment that was really good last week, they just basically don't even do it, which is stupid as fuck.
Meanwhile, they had Marty Bell go in her house, find a schoolgirl outfit, put it on for this awful fucking sketch. I guarantee you, somebody probably Billy Corgan, his fetish was to see this chick in a schoolgirl outfit, so they came up with this idea. Because
I
why else would you do this? It's just so stupid.
I think this is probably her idea, but
It,
I
it
thought
was
Marty
fucking
Bell's wrestling was bad.
It was
Her
fucking
acting is worse.
horrendous.
Yeah, her
Look,
acting.
I get, like, I don't commend. Maybe they probably just couldn't. It's cool they're trying to keep this going. I would just stop with these sketches. Just end it. Next week, just say, you know what? Fuck Carnyland. No more sketches. Just be like, sit down with like Tim Storm. Tim Storm, what's your favorite match? Or what match inspired you? And if you have the NWA library, I think, I don't know. And be like, oh, there was
I
this.
don't think you do. I don't think he does.
He doesn't have anything?
I think the only thing he got the rights to is the rights to use the words NWA. I'm
Okay.
being
Well, you have
serious.
20 episodes you can show matches from. Just show matches from those 20 episodes. This is horrendous. This is not. This is making me hate everyone on the roster. And I know you say they're good, and that episode that I watched was very, very good. This is just making everyone look fucking horrendous, this fucking thing.
Right after this, they do a segment. They do a segment called "Hey Brother," which is basically each wrestler going, "Did you hear the rumor? Did you hear what the rumor is going to be about what's going to be at the end of the show?" So they're really hyping this up. And this segment was pointless. Then right after this, they have a therapy session with Dr. Rose Hathaway, and she is
Is she
her
a
patient
wrestler? Who is
is.
she?
I have no idea who this person is. I have no idea who
And you
Rose
watch
Hathaway.
every episode of this nonsense.
No, she no. This is the first. Yeah, this is the first time she's on it. I think she might be a real doctor or some crap like
She's hot.
that. I mean,
Kind
whatever.
of. I don't know. I'm not
This
going to
did
go
nothing
ask her
for me.
out.
Yeah. Her patient was Sal Renaro.
Who's this guy?
Sal Renaro, he's an indie wrestler who's been on Ring of Honor a whole bunch of times. He's peaked. His best days are behind him, and he was wrestling.
He had best days.
His best, yeah. He was wrestling on NWA Power.
His best days are behind him.
Yeah, his best days are behind him.
Oh my god.
And he was in NWA Power, and he was in the storyline where he became best friends with Mae Valentine, and they would do videos and stuff together. And that Mae's boyfriend, Royce Isaacs, he's like very suspicious of their friendship, and he's always just like trying to beat him up, like, get away from, I told you to like stay away from her. And she's like, Royce, stop it, you're acting crazy. And it's really funny because Sal Renaro just, he doesn't look good. He looks really shitty, and you could tell there's something devious from what he's doing, but like there's no proof, but it's really that storyline I've been enjoying. Unfortunately, that's been put on hold, but that was a good one. But Sal Renaro and Rose Hathaway, basically it's him just talking nonsense. And then that classic cliche where the psychiatrist is like, in my 30 years of being a psychiatrist, there's nobody I've met like you. It's like, yeah, really? I'm like, all right, this wasn't a throwaway segment.
You're horrible.
Horrible.
This is his best days are behind him. This guy, oh my god, if I had to have a wrestling show, I had to put this guy on the air, I would literally sell the company.
I'm pretty sure in Ring of Honor, I think he was in the ring. He was all right. Whatever.
But, I mean, like, maybe he's good in the ring. He's not good at acting. What? Holy shit. Okay, keep going. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. One thing I think people need to understand
is that this is the worst thing you've ever seen.
No, is that, just because you're a wrestler does not automatically make you an actor. And I think wrestlers and wrestling companies need to learn that, and they need to realize that their acting a lot of times is some of the worst fucking shit I've ever seen.
Well, I think you have a generation of wrestlers who grew up on Adult Swim and The Office and Parks and Rec, and they think, oh, we can make this like The Office, but with wrestlers, but none of them can fucking act. Look, Benoit was an amazing wrestler. Oh, I use him again. Okay, Dean Malenko. Amazing wrestler. When they did put him in sketches, it was very controlled sketches. It wasn't like these guys. They're throwing these guys in this shit that I don't trust most comedians to get over.
I mean, they put some people. They do movies or stuff, and even then, I'm like, it's not that good. Like, I love Chris Jericho, and I think people really like him a lot, and I think because of that they look at him through rose-stained glasses and everything he does. Rose-colored glasses and everything he does. But I'm gonna be honest, Jew, when he was in MacGruber, I didn't think he was good. I was just like, he's trying too hard. You could totally see he's trying.
Well, he was on a Nickelodeon show as one of the parents, and these are really bad actors in this Nickelodeon show, and somehow he was 20 times worse than them.
Yeah.
Somehow he was worse than all. And he's really good at wrestling. He's not good at acting like a human being.
Yeah. If you watch MacGruber and you watch Chris Jericho's scene, which isn't that long, it's so forced. You could totally tell it's not natural, Dave Bautista just got lucky. He's actually
he's good.
Yeah, he's talented. He fit a role that fits him. The Rock is the same way.
Well, let's keep
going.
We're almost done.
Yeah. Actually, this next segment I actually did like. It was called Wrestler Dad, and it's Nick Aldis telling a story about how one time he's telling his son a story about how one time Sting picked him to be his opponent, and he was so like, oh, that day I was scared because I thought I was getting fired because I wasn't in a tag team match, but it turns out Sting himself picked me. Do you understand what that means? And his son's just looking at his phone. His son's like, I don't know, 4 years old, was playing with his phone, and Nick's just like, typical dad thing. I liked it. It was cute.
Yeah, I thought it was horrible.
Really? You didn't like it? Why didn't you
I
like
didn't like
it?
I just don't like 80s people. They don't come across as natural or funny.
No.
Like I get the idea, but like, these people don't have any talent to pull it off. I'm sorry, they're just completely no talented human beings. I'm sure Nick Aldis cuts good wrestling promos, but you can't like now you're to be a dad.
He is a dad. That is his kid.
Well, I don't believe him as a dad. That's how bad of an actor he is. He can't even act like himself. Right, keep going. Oh God.
They plugged the Love Can Wait T-shirt, the May Valentine Royce
Okay,
Isaac
great.
shirt.
We're recapping commercials.
I actually want to get this shirt. This shirt looks great.
Oh, good. Get it.
Then they show.
Wear it on our first show's back.
Then they show In These Uncertain Times with Josephus.
Oh, this is fucking awful too. Jesus.
Which is basically just a commercial for a storage unit, and then they show Monrovia Unmasked, which these are
every
both.
one of these sketches, by the way, being Monrovia, just proves more and more that Vince was right about this guy. These are the lowlights of every week. These Monrovia sketches.
The reason why I just went, they're back to back. Josephus plays the question mark for the Monrovia.
Yeah, I figured.
Then they have the Strictly Business, where at stable Strictly Business, which is Nick Aldis, Royce Isaacs, Thomas Latimer, and what's her fucking name? Camille. They're doing like a chat group, and I like this. I thought the buffering issues that Royce is experiencing the whole time.
That was good.
And
let me just say, remember 2 weeks ago I said Camille is awesome and she got a future? Yeah. Her future is completely over after seeing this segment, all right? Like, she should retire.
I really liked Nick Aldis's line where he was like, because, there's a clock. Remember, there's a little clock that's counting down to Billy Corgan's announcement. And he goes, guys, that's a wrestling clock. That means it's going to keep ticking until it's over. I was like, I thought to me that was funny. That was very funny. Then the next one they have is, I guess, an Eli Drake segment where they mentioned Tom Segura.
Oh my God, I forgot about this. Oh my God.
He started a feud with
I blanked this out of my mind the moment this happened.
And they somehow, they were like, oh, Tom Segura started a feud with the wrestling community. It's similar to like something that happened back then with some Gardner starting a feud with a Gardner or something like that. And Eli Drake's like playing every single character. I didn't get this at all. I didn't get it.
Well, he's supposed to be like the Gardner, because like the wrestling community got mad at Tom Segura, and they're like, oh, why don't you try wrestling? So imagine like the Gardner community was said to somebody, why don't you try gardening? You know what I mean? Like they get mad. The wrestlers get mad at you if you criticize wrestling.
Isn't Tom Segura just working everybody?
Yeah, he actually likes wrestling.
I'm pretty sure. Can I tell you?
Can I tell you something?
Sometimes wrestlers are the biggest marks themselves.
They are such marks. Yeah. Can I just tell you?
Fucking marks.
Can I tell you about this NWA Carnyland? Let me just say something, okay? We're both comedians and we're pretty fucking good at it. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if me and you got like James Madden, Ryan DeCarlos, Natalie Cuomo, that girl Sky, whatever, say what you want. Whatchamacallit, fucking Jessica Brodkin, not Matt Moran, because he is a wrestler. We got everyone, the Danny Palmer, Zach McGovern. We got them all together. We got a ring, and we held wrestling matches. Like we had like Natalie take on fucking Zach McGovern in a thumbtack match, and we had Ryan and you as a tag team, and like we're all wrestlers now. The fucking backlash the wrestling community would give us for like you guys are so how you guys can't be wrestlers. This is an insult to our business. But these fucking goofballs are doing these awful fucking sketches, and where they got Eli Drake wearing a fucking wig and shit, and they think they're comedians, and they're the most unfunniest, most unnatural human beings on the planet, and we all are just like whatever. The wrestling community, if we put a match with Jessica Brock and Natalie Cuomo, right? The wrestling community, you would see Charlotte and Becky Lynch tweeting, I can't believe you guys think you're wrestlers. You know what I'm saying? You get my point?
No, not really. Okay.
If New York Comedy Club said we're now if all the comedians decided they were going to be wrestlers, wrestlers would be so mad at us.
But what does that have to do with Tom Segura?
Because these wrestlers are trying to be comedians on Carnyland, and it's fucking horrendous. But no comedian is like, oh, you guys are insulting comedy. They're horrible. They're not funny. But nobody gives a shit. You don't give a shit. You're a comedian.
No, I don't care.
But I'm just saying, if me and you decide to have a New York Comedy Club said we're gonna have a wrestling federation, and the main event is Ryan and H. Foley versus Ray Gootz and Andrew Lee.
I don't think wrestlers will care either.
I guarantee you they would care. I guarantee you. I guarantee you they'd be having these long fucking tweet storms about how comedians shouldn't try to be wrestlers. I guarantee you you don't think some fucking Mark is gonna be tweeting that they're mad at New York Comedy Club for throwing wrestling events with comedians? Now, I'm not saying we do jokey wrestling. I'm talking like you and Ryan have an actual match in a ring. You guys take it. You guys are like serious. Like you're like, I'm coming for you, Ryan. They would get so mad at us.
I don't think so because.
Yes, they would.
No.
Yes,
Here,
they would.
Listen to what I have to say. Okay, using your metaphor.
Dude, Dave Meltzer.
No,
I mean,
listen,
Dave,
hey, let me,
you see how many people are still mad about Dave Arquette?
Let me tell you my side. Okay, just listen. First off, these guys are not doing stand-up comedy. They're not doing what we're doing.
They're doing sketch comedy.
No. They're not doing stand-up. They're not doing stand-up comedy. They're doing sketches. They're doing sketches. No, let me talk, man. Let me talk.
Okay.
Let's listen. Just listen. They're doing sketches, right? Now so if you're using that, if you're just doing sketches and you want to flip the switch, that means people who do sketches or improv would then say they're doing wrestling, right? That's what you're saying. Now there is a group that is in our area. They do that Subway Rumble shit. They actually do a lot of wrestling now. Do you know what I'm talking about? Those guys who did the Royal Rumble in the subway car?
Mm-hmm.
They're doing
but that's like performance art.
Yeah, but they're doing a lot more wrestling now. I saw them do where they actually get invited to put on those wrestling shows. They actually do. They actually get paid to do. What do you call it? Joey Janela, I think, even had them in a real I think he had them.
I think he was going to have them at the at his canceled WrestleMania show.
Yeah. People didn't.
But no. Well, here's the deal. Are they trying to answer me this? Are they trying to be funny? Yes or no?
Who, these guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
On Carnyland.
They're trying to be funny.
Okay, so that's what we try to do. We try to be funny. We can make sketches if we want. I mean, I did make sketches. You haven't. So they're trying to be funny and they're bad at it.
Your point is that if somebody from our community try to do what they're doing, people would fucking lose their fucking minds. But
they still give shit about Drew Carey being in the Royal Rumble.
There's proof with those Subway wrestler guys.
But they still are upset that Drew Carey was in the Royal Rumble. People are still upset about that. Remember Drew Carey was...
I think it was more fans. I was more mad about that than I don't think wrestlers were mad about that. I don't think wrestlers were
David Arquette, there were wrestlers freaking out back then.
I mean, what do you call it? I don't know. We could take this to a vote, but I really don't think they like real. I don't think Becky Lynch.
Well, here's my whole point. They get mad. They get mad at Tom Segura for making fun of wrestling and treating it lightly, right? They get mad. Listen, let me make my point. And you can say yes. They get mad at Tom Segura and comedians for making fun of wrestling and not taking it seriously. Meanwhile, these fucking goofballs go and make these fucking awful sketches on NWA Carnyland that aren't funny. And to me, as someone who's actually fucking funny, that's disrespectful to the art of comedy. You guys are not good at it. You guys shouldn't do it.
No, I disagree. Number one, what they're doing is not the same thing as what you and I do. All right. The same way you don't look at what you do as stand-up comedy is the same thing as sketches. You don't. I mean, I don't. I fucking don't. I don't think what I do is the same thing as improv. I don't even look. I look at they're totally two different things. What these guys are doing is more on lines to what like maybe improv is doing. They're being
dismissive of a comedian, yet they can barely do comedy.
They're not being dismissive of a comic. They're not being dismissive of him.
They were like getting mad at him.
Yes, because
like, you're not funny.
No. That's not being dismissive. They're being mad at him because he shit on wrestling.
But because they don't understand comedy. Well, even if he thinks wrestling is stupid, a comedian has the right to go on stage and do a 40-minute bit about how wrestling is the stupidest fucking thing on the planet, and a wrestler can't get mad.
No, obviously. Duh.
But they did get mad.
No, well, this is my whole point. The reason why they got mad is because they thought he's shitting on wrestling, right? But they fucking got worked. It's he for him to know that much about wrestling doesn't mean he can't be fucking really hates wrestling. That's what I mean, that they're marks. Meaning, like, I can't believe they fall for somebody who's just trying to get heat.
But can I be real with you? Even if a
Yeah.
comedian hates wrestling, like legit hates wrestling, and
Mhm.
does a bit about it, they don't have the fucking right to say a goddamn fucking thing to that comedian. Even comedian at the end is like, I'm deadly serious. I fucking hate wrestling. I think it's the stupidest fucking thing in the world. And he just shits on it. As you have no right. You don't have a right. I'm sorry. You're gonna put out, especially if you put out this shit, you think this is your idea of fucking funny.
I think you're allowed to fucking have an opinion. If I
But hold on.
Go ahead.
Because we're rational human beings. I'm talking about how wrestlers think. Because when this kid is on fucking the JD from New York, who's a herb, but that's besides the point. When he's saying Alexa Bliss sucks as a wrestler, gets me. You have no right to say I suck, and she sends fans after him. So these wrestlers, they don't want people criticizing them and saying that they stink. And you're a mark. You don't just blindly like the show. You're a mark. So okay, you want to have that token. So then, if a comedian shits on you guys and what you do, you don't have the right. If you get mad, if you get mad at criticism directed towards what your art, you don't have the right to criticize someone like Tom Segura for his art.
I disagree with that. I'm going to disagree.
I disagree, but no, I'm saying, but the way the wrestlers.
No, I don't disagree with. I don't think what you're saying makes any sense. I'm gonna be honest with you. To me, it doesn't make any sense at all.
But I agree, but that's the wrestler's logic. I'm not talking about my logic.
I don't think
these wrestlers get mad at fans now if you shit on wrestling. They get mad at them.
Everybody's sensitive. Everybody's sensitive.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? It's not just wrestlers. Everybody's sensitive. You're allowed to be sensitive, and you're allowed to go like, hey, I don't like what you said. You might sound like an idiot, but you're allowed to say it.
All I'm saying is,
if a wrestler gets offended by something that a critic says, and they voice their opinion about how they're not happy with what the critic said, that's fine. You can do that. Now,
but like Alexa Bliss sent her fans after the guy. Like,
did she really send her fans out there? Did she tell her fans? Did she really legit say, tell her fans, I want you to go after this guy? Is that what she said?
Andrew Lee, if fucking Britney Spears, if you said something negative about Britney Spears on stage, or Britney Spears,
I just asked you a question. Yeah.
I'm giving you the answer, but you're not listening. You don't understand how social media works. You don't understand how social media works. Andrew, if you said something nasty about Britney Spears on stage, or Britney Spears takes the clip and puts it on social media and is like, fuck this guy, can you believe what he said about me? Do you think people are just going to be like, oh, okay, whatever? Or do you think her fans are going to be like, we should go after that guy? What do you think the reaction is going to be from her fans?
If you're an idiot, then yes, you will. If you're not an idiot,
most fans are idiots. Most fans are idiots because they went after this guy.
You know what? That's one thing I will agree with you on. Most fans are idiots.
Yeah,
I will agree with that.
Because that's exactly what happened to JD from New York. Alexa Bliss took a clip, put it on social media. He was tagged in the clip and said, can you believe this guy? And fans took that as a sign. If you blow up someone and if you say, I am mad at this regular person, I, being Alexa Bliss, who has all these weirdos in love with me, am mad at this person. Here he is. This is that person. That is a signal for those people to go after them.
Let me ask you a question, though. What do you call it? His critique of her, right? His critique on her
was rude.
What?
It was rude.
It was no. It wasn't just rude. It was very, very sexist.
Very sexist.
It was very sexist. Okay. Now, if you're gonna critique someone, if you're gonna be a reviewer and you're gonna critique someone's work, whether it be wrestling or basketball or baseball, whatever. Hold on. Let me finish. Okay. You can do it, but if you cross a certain line of where you're not going to be civil in your critique or or have any decency and just like have a very, very like be sexist or even racist sexist or racist, I don't give a fuck what happens to you afterwards.
I don't give a fuck what happens to this guy either.
So this guy brought it upon himself.
But what I'm
I can't
saying
say he
is
didn't.
the wrestlers are very sensitive to criticism. They're very sensitive to jokes about them.
No. But this is a different situation, dude. He went totally. He had a very. If he just said she sucked, and that she fucking quit because she sucks so bad at this, nobody's gonna give a fuck. But he said like, basically, he had to bring it down to her being just basically a sex object. You know
All
what
I'm
it's like?
saying-
You know what it reminded me of is when like Don Imus made that fucking comment about the Rutgers.
Oh, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. All he's that's,
but it's
that's
the same
different.
thing. Like,
he's not being racist.
You're basically crossing that line of being decent.
And I'm not defending this guy. Look, here's my whole point. This is my whole point. And we got lost. This is how bad this fucking thing is. My point is these wrestlers should be trying to be comedic. They should stop doing Carnyland.
I mean, you could have just said that.
Okay.
I don't know why you had to go on this long tangent that made no sense, dude.
I think it makes sense. I
don't think it did.
I'm not going to look. I'm not going to go try. I'm not going to go try to be a wrestler because I'd probably be very. Okay, good. Well, then they shouldn't try to do fucking comedy. Not Tim Storm. He's actually good at it. I thought like Tim Storm. Eli Drake should not try to do fucking comedy.
No, I don't think he should either.
Yes, that's my whole point. I'm not going to try to be a wrestler. I'm also not going to try to be a fucking astronaut. Eli Drake shouldn't try to be a fucking comedian. Let's not do any more sketches. Let's just show wrestling.
You know what else NWA should not try to do is try to...
Shut up, Alexa. Bliss. Sorry.
Yeah. NWA should also try not to lie to its fans by saying there's going to be a big announcement coming at the end of the show. And the big announcement that you're thinking it's going to affect all of NWA. Are they going to stay in business or not? No, it's about how there's going to be a mayor of Carnyland. Tune in next week to see who the candidates are. I was like, you fucking assholes. You got me excited from the beginning of the show because there's an announcement. You made me watch the whole fucking show. At the end, supported me with nothing. That's a junior move. You did a junior move, and I, once again, just because of that, I don't care even if the show is good. Just because of that, I will recommend that people do not watch the show. You know,
no.
Just
you know how bad the sketches are going to be next week. You know how bad they are.
I don't want to watch this. I don't want to review the show anymore.
Why?
Because it sucks.
That's part of fun. But we don't have to slow. You like to like, and in this segment. They showed the T-shirt.
But I'm reviewing it.
But we can like go faster. What do you think of the T-shirt segment? What do you think of this segment? Like, you were reviewing this in more detail than Raw or SmackDown. You're like, and in this segment, the question marks showed a map.
Hey, I really like that T-shirt.
I think we spent more time reviewing this than this
up.
review is longer than the show itself. I think.
By the way, my birthday is coming up in August. If anybody wants to get me a gift, get me that Love Can Wait T-shirt from Royce Isaacs and May Valentine. Extra large, please. It's probably cotton. It will shrink. All right. You want to go into Impact?
Yeah, let's go into Impact because it's called the Impact Post Show. And how much time do we spend on this fucking Carnyland? We have put more thought into Carnyland than fucking William Corgan. Holy shit.
Yeah, we did. We legit did.
It's so bad. It's an embarrassment to everyone.
All right. Impact starts with, I like how they start off with a match. They start right off with a match. This is for the semifinals for the number one contender for the Impact title. It's Ace Austin versus Hernandez. In this match, I noticed that both these guys, they hardly talked in the ring. And I'm like, dude, you're in an empty arena. Take advantage of this. Like, talk shit and stuff. Because there was a point where Ace Austin hurt his ear, or he's pretending he hurt his ear, right? And he's like grabbing the referee. And then when he throws the referee, he kicks the ropes so that it hits Hernandez in the balls. I didn't know what the fuck was happening. If he was just going like, ref, my ear, I can't hear out of my ear, or something like that, and then throw the referee, it would have added more, but it didn't. Ace Austin wins with the Fode, which is his running blockbuster finisher. Not a bad way to start the show because it's just right into the action, but it wasn't the best match. What'd you think?
I thought it was all right. I realized why, I thought that Hernandez was going to win, and then I realized halfway through, Hernandez is not going to win.
No.
Because it's going to look so stupid if he has to fight Tessa.
Yes, you're right. That's exactly why.
Because if that match doesn't end, This is the only way to book that match. He kicks her in the stomach. He border tosses her basically into a wall. She's dead. He pins her and then leaves the belt. And then you never see her again.
I already know who's winning this whole thing. Okay,
Ace
and this is
Austin.
the reason why. Yeah, no, he's not.
The other guy.
Yeah, and the reason
Yeah.
why is because, and this is why I knew Ace Austin was going to win tonight against Hernandez, is because this Ace Austin already fought Tessa for the Impact Championship belt. He lost.
Okay.
He was actually her first challenger, I believe. And then when I saw Ace Austin and Hernandez in the ring together, I was like, Hernandez is way bigger than this guy. There's no way he is going to fight Tessa, because Tessa is even smaller than Ace Austin.
How do you think they're gonna get how do you think if they got somebody good, like I'm trying to think here, like if you got Rusev, I would literally have Rusev squash Tessa and be the champ, like a 3-second squash.
You know what I think? I think Impact painted themselves in the corner. I don't know how you get the title off, bro.
Well, I mean, like you can't have her. If you get someone like, I would want Rusev to be my champion. If you get someone really good from this round of cuts, even Eric Rowan, it's gonna look stupid if, number one, they don't go for her belt. Number two, if she beats them, it would literally they literally like either have to make her look like an idiot or make the bigger wrestler. I guess they're gonna. Honestly, I think I would have the next smaller wrestler beat her and move on.
How are they gonna be Trey? Oops, give it away.
Trey beat her, then you can have Trey, because I just don't.
Yeah.
If you get someone big that gets over, you either have to just destroy her, to change the title, or you have to make that guy look like if Rusev and her went back and forth, he would look awful.
Yeah. The reason why Tessa and Sami Callihan worked, when that's who she beat for the title, is for a couple of reasons. Number one, Sami is so despicable, like to the point where he almost has go away heat, where people want to see the title off him. They just don't like him. And number two, Sami's really small.
Well, there's a lot of wrestlers like let's say like if you're in the old WCW, like you could have a woman go toe to toe with Jericho or with Piper or with Ric Flair, because they do this coward thing. So you could have them like be like kind of like they know how to like play the game. But if Goldberg showed up, there is no way you can have a woman fight Goldberg. Like there's no way like you can have that woman unless that woman just gets annihilated. And you know what I mean?
You know what I would do, but he probably would say no, and he probably couldn't get him anyway. Amazing Red. I would have been like, he's small, he's good. I'll be like, yo, beat him, you become champion, and then we somehow figure out a way to get a title off you too. But he'll be like, I'm not wrestling a woman. He's probably gonna say that. And I was like,
but like, yeah, I just don't know. Like, if you get someone who's gonna be bigger and more over, I don't know like what you're gonna do with that.
Okay. All right, we got 3 segments here in a row where we get Cody Dieter. He is sitting outside, and you see a fucking you see like a hog driving down the fucking highway, and it passes Cody Dieter, and Cody Dieter goes, "What'd you think? This is gonna be a boneyard?" Wink, wink. And he drives his little whatever it is, the little bike thing past a sign that says, Diener Compound, right? Because they're gonna have a compound match. Then you have Chris Bay and Johnny Swinger talking about how they're trying to form a new tag team. Swinger's into it, Bay's not really into it. Then they show the North arriving at the compound, I believe, or making their way to the compound. And then you have a Michael Elgin promo about how he beat Sami Callihan. Now he's going to beat Trey, and he's going to be champion or whatever. What do you think about any of these?
Diener stuff was fun until they mentioned the Boneyard, and it's like, I kind of wish these companies would just stop mentioning WWE, because all it does is remind you, like, oh god, I wish I was watching the Boneyard. Like, if in the middle of Stadium Stampede they made a reference to like a Firefly Funhouse, it would have taken me out of that match, and I would have been like, oh, I missed the Firefly Funhouse. Just if you do your own thing, it'll work. But I thought the Diener stuff was fine. Michael Elgin, whatever, who gives a shit?
Yeah. Second match of the night, Chris Bay versus Cousin Jake. Cody Dieter's cousin, who's actually in America. This was a fun match. By the way, Chris Bay, he split his lip a couple of weeks ago. He's still sporting a huge fat lip while he's wrestling. He hits an awesome no hand springboard drop kick that looked good. There was during this match, what do you call it? There was one funny line in commentary where Madison Rayne was going like, "Oh, because Johnny Swinger is at ringside for Chris Bay, and he goes, "Oh, Johnny Swinger and my segments are the highest rated segments in a time slot." And Josh Matthews like, "Who's feeding you this misinformation?" And she's like, "Science." And I was like, I thought that was really funny when she said that. Cousin Jake looked really good in this match. He had the discus clothesline that looked really good. He did an arm trap inverted pile driver that looked pretty good. But the finish is really fucking goofy, right? I think it's with some weird. I think it was something with Johnny Swinger involved, but he hits. Chris Bay had this finisher where he did a springboard Famouser, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's not his finisher anymore. He hits it, and then he hits his finishing move, which is called the final finesse, which is basically just a kick to the back of the head, which looked really, it's a weak finish. At the end of this match, Bay and Swinger attack Cousin Jake, and then Willie Mack comes in and saves Cousin Jake. What do you think about this match and after match brawl?
I liked it. Anything with Johnny Swinger is a home run for me. He's the MVP of this fucking company. I liked it a lot. I enjoyed it. I like Chris Bay. I liked cousin Luke, Jake, whatever. I liked
he's
it.
not bad. He's not
Yeah,
bad.
it was a good match. I enjoyed it very much.
Yeah, this was a pretty good match. Then you have Rohit Raju, who is no longer in the Desi Hit Squad, and he was trying to give a promo. Then Chase Stevens from the Naturals. They used to be an old tag team in
Shane Douglas managed them.
Yeah, Shane. It was Andy Douglas and Chase Stevens. Chase Stevens bulked up now. He interrupts. Chase Stevens, he's a bad talker. He can't really talk that well. But this was really funny. They mentioned so Rohit challenges Chase to a match. They said we're gonna have a match next week. And then we get to our third match, which is a return match, Kimberly versus Havoc. And Kimberly had really good intensity. There's a moment where Havoc hits her with a huge spine buster and kind of lays on top of her. Ref's about to go for a cover, and she stands back up. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Then this girl comes. Her name is Nevaeh. She comes in, causes a DQ, and it's like a sort of bullshit finish. And then her and Havoc, Nevaeh and Havoc, they beat up Kimberly. Nothing happening. What did you think about this?
I like this match better than last time because last time it was Havoc basically. What? It was like at least this was more back and forth between both women until the finish. So I like this one much better. Yeah, I like this match too.
I didn't like it. I hate bullshit finishes. Yeah,
but this was getting over a new character. So
did it get her over? She's got her ass kicked.
She's not Kimberly, the girl that's with Jessica Havoc.
Oh, Nevaeh.
Yeah,
the one who's been like standing in the back. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it was to establish her, so I was fine.
Okay, then they have the new tag team called Heatwave, which is Tasha Steelz and Kiera Hogan, who are both now super ghetto now. Kiera Hogan's really ghetto. They run into Kaylee Ray, and they just like, you know how it's like, you know what they should do for NWA Carnyland's her college 101. They should be like, if you want to do a heel promo, just say everything in a question. Like, hey, so you think you're cute, huh? You think you're cute, huh? What are you staring at, huh? That's basically what Kiera Hogan's doing. Like, oh, you think you're cute, huh?
You think you beat me? Think you beat me? Yeah.
Everything she's saying is basically just a question that she repeats over and over again. Then Susie comes out. Tasha and Kiera, they pick on them, and Susie might really be Su-Yun, and basically that's what happened. They're gonna probably build a tag team. That is a tag team for later.
That was stupid. I didn't like that.
You thought that was stupid?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Not as stupid as this next thing. The North, they arrive at the compound, and this is the Dieter compound match. They knock on the door. They're about to leave. The door's open, and they go into the compound. There's Cody Dieter, and he's just giving some fucking like stupid pep talk to a whole bunch of people who are hanging around. I'm guessing they're his cousins or his friends. And then, so it's going to be the North, Josh Alexander and Ethan Page versus Cody Deeter and Wheels. And this guy in a wheelchair comes down. And they go like, "Oh, this is Wheels," and they're like, "No, this is the referee." And then a tractor pulls up, and then you see these female legs come down, and they're all like, "Ooh, yeah, this is gonna be Wheels." And they show, a girl, and it's no, that's not Wheels. And then these Ethan Page starts throwing these toy cars, and Cody Dieter's like, "I wouldn't do that because it's Wheels." And then Wheels comes out, and it's just a random fat guy. It's just a fat guy, and then they just start fighting. And it's supposed to be like the Hardy Compound thing, but it's way worse because they do too many bad cuts. If you watch the Hardy Compound one, there's a reason why they go you show them going into the barn and then, and then leaving, going by the lake, leaving the lake. They did so many super cuts of this that I didn't know what the fuck was going on. Like, they would be outside, and then they would show one guy opening up a trunk of a car, and they show another guy like climbing up the trail on top of a trailer. Then they show that another guy's already up there before. I didn't see him climb. They just show him up there. This was stupid. It ends up happening where Iceman, that stupid referee, he comes and he low blow. By the way, the ref has no legs. The ref has no legs. And he actually starts fighting the North. He does like, I think he does like a fucking 360 splash from the top rope and just lands on his face. He gets knocked out. Iceman comes in, low blows, I think, Wheels, and then he rips off his clothes. The referee, he counts to finish. North wins, and then they start running away. This whole segment, this whole thing was poorly done. It wasn't funny. It established nothing. I hated this whole thing.
So you're ready to give up on the North comedy segments, huh?
Yeah, this was.
I like the hot chick. That was about it.
She wasn't even that pretty.
Oh, sorry. This whole North comedy thing has to end. Just don't have him on the show.
Stop trying to relive the past. Don't. The Hardy Compound thing worked because they had a particular vision in mind.
And Matt Hardy is talented.
Yeah, this was a blatant poor man's version of something. Of it. It was not good. It made everybody look stupid. I'm trying to figure out if this or that golf segment on Raw, which is worse. I'm trying to figure out which.
Carnyland was worse than both. I'll tell you that much.
Carnyland was worse than both.
Carnyland. You think Carnyland was better than either of those things? You're out of here. Carnyland is an abomination.
Carnyland was kind of rough near the end.
Yeah. This thing was pretty bad, but can I just tell you this? What did you watch first, Carnyland or this?
I watched this first.
Okay, I watched Carnyland first. That's why none of this stuff had an effect on me because I've already seen the Satan's asshole. None of this is gonna be as bad.
Satan's asshole. All right.
It's just Carnyland.
Then they show TJP and Falaba. They're cutting a promo. It's not that good. TJP really can't speak.
TJP's a piece of shit.
The Rascals show up, and they because they were like, "Oh, we're the number one contenders, not you guys." They challenged to a match next week. Then, after commercial break, the Rascals are in their treehouse, which is, if those of you who have not been following Impact, basically the Rascals, their gimmick is there's three guys who love fucking getting high, and they took that 70s show segment where the kids would be smoking and they would be technically be sitting around each other, but the camera would pan from face to face to face, and there would be a whole bunch of a plume of smoke in the background. Sometimes their eyes would be fucking like red and shit, and there's a laugh track, just like they did in the show, the 70s show. Basically, that's what the treehouse is. They did it this time, but there's no more smoke allowed. I guess they don't do that. I guess once Anthem bought them and they're on Access TV, they don't do the smoke anymore. But while they're sitting there, Moose comes Moose comes and joins them, and he gives Trey his some sunglasses. Now, last year they did a segment. They did a whole storyline where the Rascals were making fun of Moose. So Moose came to the treehouse and he was like, "Oh, you guys are pretty funny. You guys are making fun of me. That was really funny." And then he starts challenging every single one of them to a match, and he starts beating the crap out of every single one of them. There was one where after he beat up Trey was wearing sunglasses because he had like a shiner because Moose beat him up. And then Moose came and he took his Trey's sunglasses. He took the sunglasses. He goes, "Oh, these are nice. I'll keep them." And then Trey's like, he starts crying and shit. And like, it was really funny because he was like, "My grandmother gave me those glasses." And then they're like, "Oh, he's gonna cry in the car." But anyway, it was a really good segment. And today was a callback to that because as soon as Moose comes in, the first thing he does is give Trey a pair of new sunglasses, kind of like a peace offering. And then he's trying to give Trey a pep talk because he's got like a number one contenders match later on tonight. The Rascals make fun of Moose. Moose is like, "You better not make fun of me. Remember what happens last time." What do you think about this treehouse segment?
It was okay, but I mean that's such a long explanation that I don't like it.
I wanted to give the background behind it.
I know. It just it was what it is. What I don't know. I like Moose.
Moose is good. Yeah, he's like the best part, and he had the flashback. And right after this, him versus Cody for the Grand Championship. Do you remember this title?
Hardly, and I really wasn't watching in 2017.
This was the worst fucking title that they ever had. This is in 2017, where each match for the Grand Championship, they're like 3 rounds of like 3-minute matches. So you wrestle for 3 minutes and you have to stop. And then the people judge you on it. And then you wrestle for 3 minutes more and then you stop.
Wasn't Aaron Stevens the champion of this for a minute?
They had a few champions. In this case, in this match with Cody, it was Moose. But this did not work. It was awful. Aaron Stevens was one.
It was nice to see Cody.
Yeah, I forgot that he used to wrestle.
When he showed up in Impact, I was like, "Oh, this guy is dead in the water." And the fact that he rose from that because he came across not that good on Impact.
Yeah. Then after this, we get a video of Deonna Purrazzo. This was pretty cool. I like this.
Yes. Can I just tell you, if AEW had Impact's women's roster, they'd be unbeatable. I mean, I know you like.
No. I agree.
If you switch women's rosters, if you gave Impact AEW's women's roster, the show would be unwatchable.
Let's look at what they have. Deonna Purrazzo, right? Mm-hmm. They have
Jordynne Grace, who I love.
Jordynne Grace. Tessa Blanchard, she can wrestle.
Yeah, even though she's a racist.
Yeah, she's racist, but hey, racists can wrestle, you know? What's Valkyrie? She can wrestle.
She's great.
That's already four.
I like Kimberly. I like Jessica Havoc. Jessica Havoc also a racist.
Guy. Yeah. Jordynne Grace. Do we say Jordynne Grace?
We already said Jordynne Grace. Oh, okay. Even Kira Hogan and the other girl are way better than fucking Nyla Rose. So,
you know what they have?
The nice girl, Kylie Ray.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Kylie.
And what do you call it? Then
even ODB. I like ODB.
Yeah, and they have Rosemary. Unfortunately, she was in this next segment with Johnny Bravo, and Rosemary is very slowly but surely becoming one of the worst things on Impact.
Yeah, what is this? What was this? This doesn't make no sense.
Dude, she's doing that really shitty, like, Addams Family humor thing where she's taking, like, dark things and she's trying to make it look like it's funny because it's commonplace. You know how, like, Addams Family would be like, "Oh, yeah, you know, like, oh, like, the grave is my bed," and shit like that. Like, you know, that kind of humor. Like, she did one where the guy was like, "Are you gonna, like, sacrifice me?" And she's like, "I wouldn't sacrifice you on the first date." I'm like, come on, this is fucking shitty. It's shitty, and you're bad at acting for this. She's become terrible on the show.
Yeah.
I liked it better when she didn't speak at all, you know? Very mysterious.
I know. I still like her, but yeah, this stuff's kind of goofy.
Yeah. And then
You okay?
We have the fifth final match. We have Michael Elgin versus Trey Miguel. This winner, another semifinal match. Winner of this faces Ace Austin to become the number one contender to face Tessa Blanchard for the Impact title. This is not a bad match. It's pretty good. It's basically your classic match
too.
Power versus speed.
Yeah.
Trey Miguel hits a great pop-up fucking Meteora, which looked good. He did that Leo Rush thing with that, that low rebound cutter. I like that move a lot. And everything was good until the end because Michael Elgin basically being dominant the whole time. And then right when he's about to like go in for the kill, the lights go off and there's that weird I See You Sammy Callahan like music and his Titantron thing. Michael Elgin gets distracted. The lights come back on. He turns around and Trey Miguel hits him with not even a move, like a painful move. He hits him with a jackknife cover and he wins. And I was like, really? That's how you're gonna end this?
Well, you know what? Anything that gets rid of Michael Elgin's okay by me. And I think the two finalists are gonna have a good match. Is it next week, the finals? I think it's gonna be a good match.
So this is what they have lined up for next week on Impact. First, you're going to have Ace Austin versus Trey Miguel for the finals, the number one contender. Then you're going to have the Chris Bay. He is going to be the guest on the locker room talk. Johnny Swinger's in that. And then you have the Rascals versus TJP and Falaba. And then you have the Heat Wave. Ryan's doing something, right? Tasha Steele and Kira Hogan versus Susie and Kaylee Ray. You have Joseph P. Ryan, formerly known as Joey Ryan, versus Crazy Steve. And this is really fun. This is what I thought was really funny. But do you remember, middle of the show, Rohit Raju challenged Chase Stevens to a match for next week?
Mm-hmm.
And then when they're hyping up all the matches for next week, this match was not included. So I don't know if it's included anymore.
They're going to have it. They just figure that let me tell you, if you hype that match, people are going to tune out. They're going to be like, oh, I'm not going to watch that match.
So then Rohit versus Chase Stevens. What did you think about Impact?
It was great. Give me 1 second. So, I like the Impact better than Carnyland. It still, needs a little bit of work. But let's talk now about the best show of the night. And I didn't even finish it, but it already wins hands down. AEW Dark. Yes,
AEW Dark was actually, I didn't finish it either, but it was very good. I can't wait to end this podcast and then go back and watch it, finish it off. But we got Taz and Excalibur, the best commentary team out there right now doing this. By the way, it starts off with Taz basically doing an intro where he goes, I'm not going to talk about Brian Cage.
Probably because they recorded this beforehand.
Obviously, yeah. But I thought that was good. See, that's good, though, because they're trying to keep up with continuity.
Because otherwise it would look weird why you're not talking about Brian Cage.
Exactly. See, AEW cares about the little things. I like that. First match, we have John Silva and Alex Reynolds, part of the Dark Order, versus they are I forgot what they're called.
What is it?
Natural Nightmares. The Natural Nightmare. Yeah, it is QT Marshall versus and Dustin Rhodes. And during this match where QT's in there, he gets distracted, lifts off in the distance, and it's Allie, formerly the bunny from the Butcher and the Blade.
That's why I like this match, which I forgot about. Yes. Thankfully, Allie's in a normal role again.
By the way, when they showed it, they start down with her red shoes. They pan up her legs, this beautiful red dress. They pan up, and you see it's Allie. I don't know why, but this is the first time I saw Allie that, like, wow, she's super, super gorgeous. She's a very gorgeous, beautiful lady. She's got QT's apple, and she bites into it, and this somehow gets QT like really going, and he revs it up. He has most of the offense in this entire match. He wins with a diamond cutter, which was given to him by Diamond Dallas Page, and afterwards he's still looking for Allie, and Allie walks away. They didn't explain why she's not with Butcher and the Blade anymore, but I feel like this is a storyline that they're going to.
Who gives a shit? Fuck Butcher and the Blade.
Yeah, I like Butcher and the Blade.
Finally, something interesting for Allie. Allie is gorgeous. Allie has so much talent. Enough of these goofy fucking broads they're trying to push down our throat. Yeah. Allie and Penelope Ford and Leva Bates are fucking awesome. Thank God. And you know what? Remember how I was shitting on QT Marshall for the last 2 weeks? Mm-hmm. This is something interesting with this guy.
This is really
So, like, now you've made me interested in him.
You know what I think is gonna happen is he's gonna be so smitten by her, but she's really like a bad person. He's gonna turn
Thank
on
God.
on the group. At least that's what I think is gonna happen. Second match.
I turned for her too. Holy shit.
Yeah, she looked good. She looked really good.
She always looked good.
Looked
She's
amazing.
gorgeous.
Yeah. They gotta explain why she's not with Butcher and the Blade anymore.
I'll explain it. They suck. The end.
But I like that tag. It's a great
They should
tag.
be fucking thrown off a cliff. Let's keep going.
Then you got Michael Nakazawa versus Brandon Cutler. Both men are kind of in the bottom of the totem pole.
Mm-hmm.
And this is gonna see who's even worse. And basically, beta weight referee takes away Michael Nakazawa in the beginning of the match, takes out his oil. The referee takes and throws it away, and then he pulls out another one. But then Brandon Cutler grabs and throws it away, so he's got no oil. And there's even a point where he starts fishing for more oil in his trunks, and it looks like it just looks like he's like looking for his dick or something. And then they show a close up, and he's got ripped trunks. Like his trunks are actually like all ripped up and fucking like old. And Taz was just having a field day with this. He was just like, "Are those trips wrong? Just those trunks are ripped and stuff." Brandon Cutler somehow gets a cut and he's bleeding. What do you call it? And Brandon Cutler has most of the offense. Does a really cool fucking elbow drop on the outside of the ring. Unfortunately, fucking Michael Nakazawa wins by count out. This is the first win probably for Michael Nakazawa, and it's also the first count out victory in AEW. Brandon Cutler is victim to it. He's in the ring all frustrated. All of a sudden, Peter Avalon, the librarian, comes out with Leva Bates, and Avalon basically starts shitting on Brandon Cutler, saying like, "You are the worst wrestler in AEW." And then Brandon Cutler comes back with, "You're scared because you know I'm gonna get a win before you ever will." Because these two now are officially at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
Unless and I don't count John Silver and Alex Reynolds, but these two. Yeah.
Okay. Can I tell you, I loved this too, and I'll tell you why I fucking love this. It's because WWE would treat these three guys like complete fucking jokes, and the announcers would probably talk about like Roman Reigns' fucking toe mold before they talk about the match. But the fact that these guys are having a storyline about who's going to be the worst, but they're not treated like jokes or losers. They're treated like guys who just have had bad luck, and they just haven't found their footing. And Peter Avalon was so good on the mic. And then Brandon Cutler, who I didn't know from a fucking hole in the wall before this started, the announcer put it over. Oh, he was almost going to win it, and he lost by countout. We've never had a countout victory yet in AEW this whole time. And then he goes to the commentary desk, and now I'm invested in Brandon Cutler, and I'm also invested in the librarian guy. Yes. So I thought that this was another thing that was really fucking great. You're not presenting these people like fucking losers, like people that don't matter. The only loser in this company is Shawn Spears, who should be immediately executed tomorrow night on AEW Dynamite.
In AEW, even their jobbers get storylines, which I really like.
But they also like my problem with AEW, and I feel like the Stadium Stampede changed this, was that people weren't really given personalities. You were just expected to know who they were. And starting with the pay-per-view, and you didn't do the pay-per-view episode with me, but I love the fact that right before to Casino ladder match, they had a bunch of people give promos, and one of them was fucking what's the kid's name? The kid
Jungle Boy?
Jimmy Havoc.
Kip Sabian
and Jimmy Havoc and Pelly Ford give a big promo. Now I know who they are. Now I'm into them. I know everything about them, and it just took 40 seconds, and they weren't doing that. Oh, for a year, they weren't doing that. You should have watched Being the Elite. Go fuck yourself. Then they had like a couple of the people do cut promos, and now I know like what they want and what they're invested in. And even in the Stadium Stampede match, I got to know more of Hangman Page's character, just with little interactions he had with people. Now I care about Hangman Page. I didn't give a shit about Hangman Page up until Sunday. And now I care about your fucking scrubs. And that's all it takes so little. And that's what I want to say, like NWA Carnyland, you're making these guys completely unlikable. You're making them just like, it just takes so little to make you care. Like the librarian was being silly, but he wasn't being stupid. He was making sense, you know? It was good, and you know what I'm saying?
By the way, Peter Avalon is super underrated. He's
Yeah.
been spot on since he was signed.
And now
But yeah,
I'm more invested in a lot of these characters than I
mhm.
was a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
And it doesn't
I
take
thought
that much.
this was like you're not just watching a match after match. There was storyline.
There's a storyline now, and then Jungle Boy comes out.
Yeah, this leads to match number 3. Peter, because like once he said Avalon wants to win. It's Avalon versus Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy hits a really great looking springboard twisting DDT. All of a sudden, Leva Bates, she gets up on the apron, and Marco Stunt kisses her. This is a callback to remember last week or 2 weeks ago when MJF was like, I would normally get one of my rats to kiss you, but nobody wants to kiss you, Marco. Remember that? And he kisses her, and then Jungle Boy hits his like Indian Deathlock submission, which he calls the SGS, and he wins. Fun match. I like the little callback, and Avalon was good. I like this. What do you think about this match?
This was a good match. Here's my only thing about this match, because we kind of established that Avalon's bottom of the barrel. I have my lights on the house. One of the strands went out, and it's bad to have 4 lights connected to one strand not work. That could cause a problem with electricity. So I ran upstairs and replaced the wire, thinking when I get back down, it's going to be a new match. It took me a little bit. When I came back down, that match was still going on. I don't think it should have taken Jungle Boy that long. The fact that I was able to do housework. When I saw the match was good, I just don't think I should be able to do housework in my house, and Jungle Boy is still trying to put away Peter Avalon. That's all I'll say.
I see what you're saying, yeah.
Because he just had a pay-per-view match. He was put in a prominent position. I think it should have went a little bit shorter. But I like the intention.
Match number 4 is Serpentico from San Juan, Puerto Rico versus Christopher Daniels. Taz's commentary was fucking amazing in this match.
Yeah.
He was going how I don't like Christopher Daniels personally, never liked him, but then he proceeds to put him over about like how he's a veteran, puts him over like $1 million about every single thing he does. It's like, oh, that was great this, that was great that. Like look at him, he knows when to take his time, and this guy never ages. This guy, he's been doing that since the very beginning, and he's still tip-top shape and everything. He put him over like $1 million. Christopher Daniels did look really good in this match. He wins with the best moonsault ever. What do you think about this match? Or Taz's commentary?
I liked it. I thought it was a good match for Chris Daniels to have, where he didn't look like a goofy idiot, which I thought he's been looking at Dynamite. It's weird that this show, I hated Dynamite, and I'm loving this AEW Dark. And even though I hated most of the pay-per-view, I did love Stadium Stampede and some of the promo work they've done. But, I got to admit, AEW, I think, is turning a corner here. I'm excited about tomorrow night.
Oh, God. I keep forgetting today's Tuesday. Yeah. Yes. It's right.
Feels like Friday after we watch
I'm looking forward to AEW tomorrow. We got match number 5. We got John Schuyler and Brady Pierce. I believe they're making their AEW debut tonight versus a couple of Jersey boys. We got Sonny Kiss finally back. This is his first match since the pandemic hit. And Joey Janela. Joey Janela's from, I forget where. Where was he from? Asbury Park?
He's from there.
And Sonny Kiss is from Jersey City. By the way, Sonny, this was great. Sonny Kiss, he does a great handspring axe kick when the guy's like wrapped up in the corner. It's awesome. He does this move called Kiss My Sass, where he basically grabs you by his legs and he fucking rams your face into his butt. Did you see that video I sent you of the Dragon Gate Santa Maria, where she sits on guys' faces?
Hold on. I gotta see. I'm just doing something.
Yeah.
Who? No, I didn't see it.
Janela wins with a top rope elbow drop on Schuyler. This was fun watching Sonny Kiss back in action. The Jersey boys win. Janela he looked like a hot mess, but he was fine in this match.
I got to tell you, I don't like Joey Janela. I like Sonny Kiss. I think they need to get Sonny Kiss the fuck away from Joey Janela.
What don't you like about Joey Janela?
He just looks like a goofball. He looks like a loser. He looks like a scrub. He's so one-dimensional. I don't like him. I don't think he adds anything. I think Sonny Kiss would be better with a different tag partner or by himself.
I hate the way Joey Janela runs. Did you watch in Double or Nothing? Did you see the way he runs?
Yeah.
Oh man, but
he even his I'm a bad boy. It's just so like it's just so like whoa, holy shit, that was a jump. Did you see that cat jump?
no.
The cat that was a giant jump. Anyway, it's just so like stupid and boring. I don't like him. He adds nothing. When he's on the screen, AEW looks like a fucking indie. He looks horrible. They need to get rid of him. I don't like him, and I think he makes Sonny Kiss look like I think he brings down Sonny Kiss. Sonny Kiss is a talent, great in-ring persona. I think Sonny Kiss needs to get the fuck away from this guy.
I think he needs Joey Janela right now because
I don't think so.
Joey's a little bit more credible right now in the company.
There's a lot of credible people that could be with Sonny Kiss.
Joey Janela, I admire his passion for wrestling.
You know what he does. He is good at promoting shows. I would admire him more if he started working at a Wendy's. I think I admire his passion.
You know what's really sad? When he first got signed with AEW, in the very beginning, like the first 2 months, he was like in the best shape I had ever seen him. He still had a little bit of chub, but you could see like he was working on his body, and he was like taking his matches like
I know
really good.
I know the internet loves him. I don't see it. I don't.
Yeah. Don't worry. I understand. I used to be the biggest.
I really think Sonny Kiss could stand out so much more without this guy.
Yeah. All right. We got match
really
number.
you know what it's like? It's like hanging a bag of shit around Sonny Kiss's neck. And it's just come on. I hate this. I don't like him.
Bag of shit.
I'll never forget the first time I saw him was at Progress. He's a bad boy. And I'm like, what makes him a bad boy? My friend's like,
oh, man.
Well, you know, he parties. Like, what does he do that's a bad boy? I'm a bad boy. That's all. I wear Hawaiian shirts.
I used to watch him on indie shows, and I used to be like, why the fuck is everybody so into this guy?
I know.
I was like, and they were like, he jumped off a roof. I was like,
I could do his gimmick. I'm a bad boy.
Do you know what got him famous, right?
Oh, those spring break shows. That's the first time.
No. That's not what got him famous.
Having no talent. What got him famous?
You know, who's that guy who runs CZW?
Oh, DJ Hyde.
No, Zandig,
whatever.
Zandig came out of retirement and he wanted to do like one more match, and he was doing it with Joey Janela, and they did this thing where he held him in the air raid crash, which is like, you know, like that Celtic cross kind of finisher thing. And then he jumped off a roof of a building with Joey Janela in that hold, and they fell into a pickup truck that was filled with like barbed wires, wooden boards, and like fluorescent lights. It was like, you know, back when we were younger, there used to be a lot of crazy shit like that, right? Backyard wrestling. But then they stopped doing that for a long time. And this was the first one where they did it again. And Joey Janela almost lost his thumb. It almost got like severed. But that thing became huge. And then he's got a huge following after that. And that's why he first got famous. And when I used to go to these indie shows when Joey Janela wasn't on TV, and I would ask people why they were so into him, they'll be like, because his wrestling was horrendous. He was a terrible fucking wrestler. He did 2 moves. And then, Lexi, I won't lie, he did 5 moves. He legit, I counted him, he did 5 moves in the match. And they were like, he jumped off a roof. And I was like, first off, he didn't jump. Somebody jumped and somebody was holding him. And that's not anyone could do that fucking thing. No offense, but anyone could fucking fall off a roof. But anyway, Joey Janela.
Garbage.
Match number.
Can I say, like, anyone could do his gimmick. Anyone could do his gimmick. All you gotta do, I could go fucking buy like beach clothes and I'm a bad boy. I don't return my library books. I don't know.
Yeah. Man has a passion for wrestling. I'll give him that.
I have a passion for wrestling. Put me on AEW. I'm a bad boy.
would you let somebody hold you upside down and then jump in off a roof into a pickup truck filled with like fluorescent
No,
light
because
bulbs
I
and
would
stuff?
learn how to wrestle, so I wouldn't have to do that.
Uh,
I would learn how, like a Timothy Thatcher. I would learn moves before. I'm not just gonna show up out of shape and be like, throw me into a thing of bullshit. I don't know.
I will be the first one to admit that Joey Janela probably loves wrestling more than I do because I will not fucking take that stupid.
You know
fucking
what
move.
though? But they don't. I'll tell you why they don't. And I learned this when I met Mick Foley. Mick Foley didn't jump off that cage because he loves wrestling. Mick Foley wanted something that would make him immortal, and that's why he did that spot. And that's the thing with Joey Janela. Joey Janela needed a fast track to become something. So he's not a good wrestler. He can't like wrestle like a Timothy Thatcher or even Kenny Omega or even like a fucking Apollo Crews. So we had to do that. It's more about it. I've learned that people that do that shit, it's more about attention for themselves and they love wrestling. They just want attention.
Well, he succeeded. He got him that attention.
It's like a chick who fucks a booker to get more spots. Instead of fucking a booker, you're basically fucking, you know how many comedians, like if Emilio put out a thing, it was like, listen, if a comedian, if I can find someone that'll jump in a pit of electric eels, I'll give them unlimited paid spots. You know how many comedians would line up to jump in that fucking pit of eels?
Oh yeah, whole bunch.
And it's not because they love comedies, because they just, it's a shortcut to get what I want. So.
Yeah, good point. Good point. By the way, I have no problems with comics who want to sleep with bookers to get spots. That's your body, your choice.
I also have no problems if you want to jump in a pool of electric eels, which I think is going to be the equivalent of going to a comedy club in a month if they open. So.
Yeah. All right, match number 6. We got Tony Donati and Fabo Andre versus what's quickly becoming one of my favorite tag teams in AEW.
Yes, they're good.
Jimmy Havoc and Kip Sabian. These guys this is a great tag team. They are like, they're both British, but one's a scummy guy and one's a douchey guy. And they did this great move where fucking Jimmy Havoc has his 2 fingers out in front of the guy's
we've talked
face.
about this.
Yeah, Kip Sabian kicks him. They did it again where the guy kicks him in the back of the head. Oh, it's great. The match ends with they did this thing where Kip Sabian drop kicks the guy who Jimmy Havoc is holding, and they drop him into a Michinoku driver. This was good. By the way, Tony Donati he was a jobber. He looked great. He hit a really cool looking, he hit a really good German suplex, and then he did a hammerlock vertical suplex, which was good. But this is a great tag team. I'm glad you like them too. This is fantastic.
I like this match. Let me tell you about something about Jimmy Havoc. Jimmy Havoc was a guy, when I would go see him at a Progress, I saw nothing in. And when people, Jimmy fucking Havoc. I'm like, this guy is not that.
Yeah.
They tried to make him like some hardcore legend, and he looked like such a poser. Now, though, his gimmick is that he's kind of a poser. He's like, I like him with this kid. And he's a guy who has adjusted and is now a lot more interesting to watch. And that's the thing.
Dude, I agree. I used to hate seeing him in the indie shows and being like,
he looks so cool.
He's going to do that paper cut spot. He's going to do that paper cut spot again.
Yeah, he looks so corny. It was just like this corny.
He compliments Kip Sabian. They complement each other in the ring.
Yes, and they look good together. And it's kind of like, I never really liked Bobby Roode until they got with Beer Money. And there's like, these are 2 guys that complement each other and make themselves look better. And
I agree.
A lot of ways, like, every now and then you just need the right and he just fixes, because now I don't see Jimmy Havoc as like, I'm a crazy guy who does like fucking deathmatch spots. Now he's just like a douchey friend of Kip Sabian. I love it. I think it's great.
I agree.
I don't want to be completely negative. I want to enjoy this crap. But when you have fucking, Eli Drake in a wig making fun of Tom Segura, I want to blow my brains out.
I mean, it's not wrestling.
Not wrestling. And you have the Viking Raiders playing fucking
By the way,
golf.
It's not wrestling. That's why I don't want to review Carnyland.
No, but the reason why I want to keep reviewing Carnyland is it's the replacement for their main show, and we are to cover this until our comedy careers come back. It's only 20 minutes. If it was like a 2-hour show, I'd be like, you're probably right. But let's see how long this goes. I want to see how far down the rabbit hole we're gonna go.
By the way, I know you didn't watch the next match, but the next match was this guy, Mr. Grimm, versus Wardlow. Wardlow hits him. He hit that finisher. They are calling it the F10 now. It's basically a spinning F5. They call it the F10.
And I heard Penalty Ford had a match later, so I want to watch that.
I
I
didn't get
love
to that
her.
match. The next match after that was Lee Johnson versus Colt Cabana. I noticed something. Lee Johnson had a pink wristband. He was wearing a pink wristband, like to kind of give at concerts that they know that you paid or some shit. And Leva Bates had one on too. I wonder if that's something that kind of like they're wearing that lets some people know that they got checked, testing or
Yeah,
something.
I thought you were about to say it's a wristband for Hana Kimura or something.
Who the fuck? Oh, maybe it's that. I have no idea.
But I don't think so, because why would they? She kills herself on a Friday. They would. What did they tape? Why would you tape these on Sunday? Why would you not just tape everything the Wednesday before, like usual, and just air this on Tuesday? So you're probably right. It's probably like I got.
So what
checked.
do you think that pink wristband is then for like that they got tested?
I think it means that they blew Cody in the back. I don't know.
Maybe it means our reviews are done for tonight. I don't know idea.
It means that JR is going to die of COVID because they keep slamming this guy out in public with no mask or protective gear.
So I 100% recommend people watch AEW Dark this week. 100%.
Yes, I recommend it too. Good stuff. Though it is too long. It shouldn't be this long. All right.
It's a rough. I mean, it does not need to be an hour 25 minutes. It really doesn't.
I mean, I'm saying this, and I'm saying this as someone who enjoyed the whole show. It doesn't need to be this long. I gotta watch Impact. That comes first in life.
Would you recommend people watch Impact from this week?
No, not really.
No, me neither. Me neither.
No. Just watch AEW Dark. Don't watch either of these two. Just listen. If you've made it this far, listening to us babble about the 3 shows nobody gives a shit about. Let me tell you something. This is how we're gonna beat this JD from New York prick. Is no one's doing an Impact post show. People are gonna be like, these guys are the premier experts at Impact Wrestling.
Someone's gonna say that we go too long.
What do you mean? We have a lot of wrestling to talk about today.
That's true.
3 different companies.
Yeah.
3 different problems. All right, that's it. Tomorrow I'll be back with Ashley. No, what's her name? Actually, no, her name is Ashley. Sorry, fuck that. Wow, the cat and the dog. Look at this. You see that? That's
I saw
crazy.
that. Yeah.
This is a battle in my house. The cat and the dog are really going at it. Ashley and me, we're going to cover the show Dave, and then on Thursday, Andrew Lee will be back. We're going to do the Wednesday night post show. I plan on watching AEW Live and NXT later on. What about you?
Yeah.
I'm excited about this is the first time I've ever been excited about Dynamite.
What's happening in NXT? I mean, I don't know.
Oh, Kurt Angle's refereeing a match, Timothy Thatcher and Riddle in a cage, and then the finals of the Cruiserweight thing with Drake Maverick and shit.
By the way, did you ever watch that show, Dave?
I'm going to watch it tomorrow.
First time?
And review it with Ashley, yeah.
Okay.
You like it?
I watched it. I watched it. It's good, but then after a few episodes, I was like,
we only watched the first episode. The whole show purpose on Wednesday, see if we should keep watching. Anyway, that's for tomorrow with Ashley. Me and Andrew Lee will be back on Thursday. See you then. We'll see you tomorrow with me. Bye-bye.